Is this literally you right now? How about this? Or this? Because yeah, it's me too. Every morning, every afternoon, every night. The pandemic has been super hard on all of us, and for sure there are health problems, financial problems, societal problems that we all need to deal with. But there's also our mental health and our emotional health that we need to care about. First, languishing. Sometimes we don't feel incredibly depressed, but then there are also no words to describe our stagnation because we're not like super burnt out either. It's pretty hard to explain, but paradoxically, I also feel like I'm kind of going through it. It's kind of like meh, you know, like life is meh. It's a big blob. It's flat, it's dull, it's plain, it's a barren wasteland between flourishing and depression. It's like a general state of non-thriving. Yeah, I know, life is like that. Life has a tendency to do that every now and then. But then this pandemic has just been pummeling at our productivity, kind of like chipping away at our ability to feel fruitful. You don't feel down in the dumps, but then you just don't have motivation to win at life. If you know this is you, but then you also just want to click away from the video, and not because you're running away from your problems, but just because, whatever. And then maybe it's you. You really might be languishing. If you've been having trouble focusing or concentrating, but then not necessarily because you're specifically down in the dumps and facing depression or extreme anxiety, then you might be going through what sociologist Corey Keyes calls languishing. And knowing that is half the battle. Your weapon? Small wins. If you feel like you've been plateauing, then see if you can find it in you to climb a mountain again. And I don't mean putting your Everest goal right up in your face after a long time of not doing anything, but I mean taking baby steps towards little goals that will make you feel a little more accomplished, in control, and confident. You don't have to put yourself under extreme stress in order to accomplish something. Whether that is literally just getting up and drinking a glass of water right now, that could be a small win for you. Or reading one page, or jogging for 5 minutes, or picking up that dumbbell or that jump rope. Grabbing the guitar and playing a song that you used to play all the time, but then you haven't been, feeling creative lately. Maybe waking up 10 minutes earlier, or literally right now putting down your phone and stretching or doing 10 push-ups. Picking up your notebook and pen and journaling, or maybe even just switching to your notes app and writing down your thoughts. It all starts with baby steps. Celebrate the small wins. They may be small, but you're still winning. How come even though we know it's better to fall asleep earlier, we know that we should be getting 8 hours of sleep a day, we still stay up until 3 a.m. watching TikTok or YouTube or other mindless social media content? Maybe we binge watch a series on Netflix that we've already seen before, or just watch content that we're not even half interested in. One reason is because we feel in control. We feel in control of our time. No one else is awake and there's no school or work to bother us while we're safe in bed and doing whatever we want to do with our attention. They call this revenge bedtime procrastination, and it's described as refusing to go to sleep because you value the freedom that you find in your late night hours more than you value sleep. It's a way to regain control over your time and reclaim some hours for yourself, and usually affects very busy people in the daytime. Overworked employees, very busy parents, or people with just a lot of anxiety or poor time management skills may find themselves affected by revenge bedtime procrastination. It's kind of a way of getting revenge for not having control of your daytime hours. The solution? To regain control over your daytime hours. And it's not always 100% possible to control your 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but you can regain control over your 8 a.m. or your 7 a.m. I don't have to go over the reason why you should be using your 3 a.m. to give rest to your body rather than to watch mindless content. So, do we make a meticulous 17-step routine that starts at 5 a.m. and involves daily gym time, reading 40 pages, drinking a kale smoothie, journaling your life, meditating, and like 50 other things? Well, of course not. No, we start small. We find one thing, one simple thing, one easy thing that you really love to do. And then we put that thing first thing on the schedule in the morning so that we're more excited to wake up and get ready for the day. In all honesty, if you're really having a hard time, then that can be like one round of COD Mobile or one episode of New Amsterdam in the morning instead of at night when you should be sleeping. But of course, it's more preferable if you enjoy taking walks in the morning, and having a 30-minute walk scheduled in the morning will help you sleep 30 minutes earlier and wake up 30 minutes earlier, then choose that, of course. Maybe you want to carve out 20 minutes with no distractions and no phones or screens in order to make your favorite breakfast or to read your favorite book. For me, my morning thing is brewing coffee. For some reason, I just enjoy pouring water and grinding the coffee beans and tasting what I make. So find something you love to do in the morning and then make that your anchor point for the start of the day. Make sure your morning anchor is something you feel good about, and make that your special me time in the morning. Your moment where you feel in control of your time and space. And that's really one of the bigger aspects about mental health and emotional problems during the pandemic. It's feeling a loss of control, especially for the extroverts out there, especially for the more outgoing people out there who like to go out and gimmick and gala and hang out with friends whenever they want to. And suddenly, that very simple privilege and joy of life is taken away from us. And we wonder why we ever took it for granted that we could just hang out with our friends anytime that we want. It's hard, it really is. And we don't have control over some of those things, but the mindset here is control what you can control. Mornings are a great point in our day where we can start by taking control of our mindset and taking control of that little time and space that we have. Lastly, purposelessness. Honestly, one of the things back then that made me really feel like I had a purpose was my speaking engagements. I loved going to universities and offices to speak about fruitfulness, about faith, about mental health. But in this new normal, all I do is talk to a screen. I can't feel out the vibe of a room, meet individual students, or even hear them laughing at my corny jokes. The new normal has radically changed the way we interact with other people. Helping loved ones usually makes us feel purposeful, and so does them helping us achieve the goals that we want to. Relationships in general are very important to helping us feel purposeful. When we have people to talk to, family to relate with, friends to share struggles with, and partners who can carry the burden with us, we feel like what we do in life has more meaning. We've got more inspiration and motivation to get through the day. But because we've been isolated for others from so long, life is beginning to feel meaningless. So what can we do? Firstly, a great way to start is to try checking in with friends. I've said it before, there's nothing like sending a loved one a simple kamusta. But more importantly, it's really healthy to take the time to connect more deeply with yourself, especially by connecting more deeply with the one who made you. Don't be ashamed. I've also lived through entire weeks where I didn't even touch my Bible. What? A pastor's kid? A Christian influencer? Not doing his devotions? Well, yeah. But you know, the beauty about God's grace is that when your heart is sincere, you can always come back to Him, even when you've been running away for a long time. He's there for you. And once you find your value in Him again, once you find your security in His unlimited source and not your limited strength, you'll find that just as God never took away His love for you, God did not take away His purpose for you in the pandemic. It's been a stormy, gloomy past year where God's voice has been seeming maybe very muffled to the point that we just end up ignoring His voice. But God's never stopped speaking. He's never stopped working. And He's never stopped working in you. If you like content like this, then please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me a lot, and I produce content every week. I actually have a podcast also where I post exclusive content there that you're not going to see on this YouTube channel. For example, did the COVID vaccine come from aborted babies? If you like this video, then maybe think about giving it a thumbs up. It also helps the video get out to more people who might need to hear these things. And don't hesitate to leave a comment down below on suggestions on what you want me to talk about next. And honestly, if you want to share, then which one of the three are you facing the most right now and what can you do about it? And lastly, I also have a Telegram group. The link is in the description. If you are looking for a community of people that you can talk to and share your thoughts with about, topics like this, then you're very welcome on the channel. Just hit the link down below. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, have a great day.